Ready? All right, Bill. We figured it might be a little bit better if we took a video here for you. Here you can see the lower end of the block. We're going to come around over here and show you how close this pickup tube is at the current time.
It won't focus. Just shine a light on it.
Now, we can also take this tube and pull it all the way up against there, and I can push it away, as you can see. Okay. The next thing we're going to do here is we're going to take a windage tray to show you, and I'm going to stick this in place. And as you can see, I cannot get this in here. This windage tray will not fit in here at all. If I remove the one bolt here as we talked, and we swing the pickup tube out of the way, we can bring it in. But if you come around here, you can see how far off this hole is down here. You can look straight down in there. Get straight down. Alright, so you can see our problem with our dilemma where I wanted the 10 degrees. So, our next thing that we're going to try here is we're going to shim this up a 1/4 of an inch, like I explained that we would try. Now, when I shim this up, I can get this in here, and I can force this windage tray into position. Now, as you can see, the pickup tube is way off to the one side, and now you can see the amount of clearance that is present. But again, when we take this windage tray and slide it in, she still needs to be forced into position. We're close. So this is where we're figuring that 400 thousandths would work out. Okay? Now, to check out the other part that we were concerned about was straightening out this tube here coming straight up. Well, we've already checked this on another engine, and we feel by straightening this out like this, it's going to interfere into the oil pan, which is in this area. Okay,
Point
so
it again.
it'll be in this area, right in here, Bill. It'll be right in here. Okay, so what we figured we would do here is to check clearance of this tube in this position. Now I'm going to try to center this up, you know, to where she would be in the center. And we're going to put a piece of clay in here. Come around and you can get down and look at the clay. You can see how high that clay is. Now we'll drop this pan on. We'll push this thing down, which it's down in a position, and we'll lift it now. And you can see what happened to the clay. And actually, being that it's tight here, I'm going to try it one more time. I'm going to put it here where it looks like it might be a little better position, and we'll try this again. And also remember, there's no gasket here. So that's the amount of clearance we have with that pickup tube going up the 1/4 of an inch. But I do believe it would still work out well if we rotated it the 5 degrees. Now if you get up here and we're going to give you a picture looking down here of the can in relationship to the main bolts. Can you see this here? Can you get it high enough, Mike? And you can see where these two main bolts are, and the can is pretty much centered up on the crankshaft. So what I will do now, I'm going to take this bolt out, and I'm going to rotate this thing, say, well, you know what? We can do this one other way, like I told you before. I'll set this dial indicator up here. Over here. Now I'm going to get this to where we're roughly at 0, and in your drawing you said about 400, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4. It's roughly around 400 thou. So we have a wrench, I can tighten that. Just a little small crescent.
I don't have a crescent here.
So we'll leave it right there. Now, if you come back up and we look down, you can see that the can is still roughly in the center. We haven't, I don't think we've jeopardized anything. And then last but not least, the other one, we'll take this windage tray again, and we're going to slide this into place. We can get the holes to line up, and now we get close, we can see the clearance that we have. So I hope this video came out clear enough, and this should give us enough information as to what we can do. And just to go over it again, reiterate, I believe all we're going to do is extend this lower portion of the tube, that additional 1/4 of an inch, so this will move down, and for all practical purposes this pickup tube seems to be able to rotate with you having to calculate the adjustment of the height of the can because of the increased length here. We have to drop the can down because everything will come up. That will be the only other thing that you'll have to deal with, is lowering this can assembly. And I'm not sure, maybe we can just shorten this up and have it go, it'll move over a little bit more, or maybe you can just take this and bend it a little bit, you know, just bend a little tighter and lower it, and it'll put it in about the same location. Anyways, if you have any questions with this, I'm sure you'll give me a call. And I'm Mike.
Before we end this, just so, here, take the windage off. Try to hold this in one place and then move it back to where you had it before we moved it. So from above it moves a little bit, and then we're able to take this off and put it down without that shim on it, because I figured out how to make it come in clearer when we're trying to look at the clearance. It was fuzzy at the beginning of the video.
And this is also the pickup tube that you produced the last time. This is just one out of the box. That's how close it is currently. And then what the customers have been doing is loosening this thing and pulling it completely.
Ryan, look what you're doing. I can't see.
What do you want to see? I had there like 3 times.
They're pulling it out of the way like this to get the clearance, or like we heated that one tube in this area and we pulled it out. But typically when it's in place, she's going to be just like that, which the rods can clip this. And of course, the windage tray, once again, totally incapable of getting put in here. Cannot get it in here for nothing, even, there's no way. Alright, I have to go